Hello, my name is Meg O'Hearn, and today I'm going to be talking about the ZAPS Lab on the serial position effect. This particular experiment is focused on the serial position effect, which is the tendency of people to remember items from the beginning or the end of a list instead of those that are in the middle. This also focuses on working memory and long-term memory. Working memory is processed information that goes into a system where we can recall it in a shorter amount of time, whereas long-term memory is when these memories are processed through working memory and then stored for later use. This theory was a foundation for this experiment because in the experiment we were asked to recall items from a list, and then the calculations were made to see if we recalled items from the beginning of the list or the end. We would expect to see that more items would be recalled from the beginning and the end of the list, especially the end. This is due to the recency and primacy effect. The primacy effect is the tendency to recall items in the beginning of the list, and the recency effect is the tendency to recall items at the end of the list. The procedure of this experiment was actually quite simple. To start, I was shown 12 different named objects flashed on the screen one by one. Then, immediately after this, I was given 12 blank boxes to then write down whichever words I remembered. There was no time limit, and we were also told that there was no reason to write them in any particular order as they were shown. In this experiment, the independent variables would be the location of the word in the list, whether it was the first or the last in the list matters. The dependent variable is going to be the words recalled, so if there are a lot of 12th position words recalled, or if there are a lot of first positions recalled. Generally, my results did follow the reference figure as well, both of which have a general U-shaped form. On the reference results, it is a parabola shape wherein that the words recalled in the first position on the list is going to be slightly lower percentage than that of which towards the end of the list. The results from my experiment do fit the hypothesis that more words will be recalled at the beginning and end of the list due to the primacy effect, the recency effect, and the serial position effect. The one area that my results seem to differ the most from the reference or the class results is that most of my percentages seem to appear lower than the others. I believe that the reason for this could be because I have diagnosed ADHD. People with ADHD are known to have a deficit in their working memory, and therefore I think this could have affected my ability to memorize words as well as the reference or the class results. Especially people with ADHD struggle with visual spatial memory and things like that, so I think that could have a play on why my results seem to be lower than the average. The results do provide a good test to show the serial position effect. In this, we see the same curve as we do in the serial position effect curve, and therefore it shows the similarities between the experiment and the actual theory more broad. An idea for a future experiment that I think would be really interesting would be to do the same exact procedure but with two different groups, one of which have diagnosed ADHD and one of which are neurotypical. I think this would be really interesting because a lot of people with ADHD have their working memory affected, especially their visual spatial memory, and I think it would be interesting to see if this just affects how many words are recalled or the positioning. I think it would be really interesting to see if the brain affects anything else in that region or if it's just words recalled.